It's Tim Albright with AVNation with the road to InfoComm. InfoComm 2025 happens the 11th through the 13th of June in beautiful Orlando. And with me to talk about Wesco and their booth is Philip Langley. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Good to see you again. 3020 3020 is where we'll find you. It's where we'll find Wesco. So we're familiar with Wesco from a logistics standpoint, from an integration standpoint. So this time around, what would we find in the Wesco booth?
Well, some of that for sure, our supply chain piece, which is a big part of the changing Pro AV landscape. But we want to introduce you to Entricin, which is a software platform. It really bridges or brings together the OT space. So think BMS systems, plant, electrical lighting, and the IT space, which includes AV, and then it rolls it up into, say, a command and control area to really look at it and what's happening in the building. Now, we've been talking about intelligent buildings for a long time. I think the timing's right. However, with the consultants really coming together and understanding what's needed, the customer really driving this. And we've got a great tool in Entricin that it's an aggregator software platform that we can demonstrate on site for you.
Phil, you're also doing a speaking stint at the innovation stage. Talk for a second about what you're going to be talking about on the stage there.
Oh, well, yes, it's trend forecasting, Wednesday the 11th, I think that is, at 11:30. I'll be on a panel, and we're going to be talking about our industry with a bunch of other industry veterans, I say, or experts about what we're seeing in our industry from AI technology products, but also in how the customer's demanding what you spoke about before, and that was how we're getting these solutions in a uniform way across the globe. So yeah, it'll be good session.
Yeah, you mentioned there before the intelligent buildings, and that is something the industry and Avixa, what was called InfoComm, about 10, 12 years ago, had a session, and when they looked at it, called it smart buildings, but to me it's the same difference, right?
Yeah, it is.
Where do you see that heading in the next 3 to 4 years when it comes to the implementation of AI, both on the design, the implementation side, but also on the technology that we're putting in?
I think, AI to start with, it's about efficiencies. And Tim, you were exactly right. We were talking about this for a long, long time, but it hasn't been that long ago when we were walking into a building and there would be a user interface for every subset in the building. Yeah. And you'd have an antiquated BMS system to look at chillers and plants. We can now, underpinned by the network, everything, including Pro AV, is just another endpoint on the network, particularly if you look through a lens into the corporate sector. So now, as consultants come together and talk about this, as the customer really wants to be able to have efficiencies around their plant in terms of maintenance, in terms of consumption of electricity, you've got all this data coming back. AI is going to help discern what data is relevant, and then we can tools like Entricin allows us to roll that up onto a command and control area, which you can also see at our booth. The proliferation of the command and control. Now, every data center has one, every building has one, every higher education has one. We're really hitting our straps. And though we've had companies around for a long time talking about smart building, intelligent building, for me, we're on the steep curve, and tools like Entricin will help us realize that.
Very cool. 3020 3020 is where we'll find Wesco. Phil, not everybody's going to InfoComm, so if they're not going and they want to follow along with everything that Wesco is talking about that week, how do they do that?
They can see us on the social platforms, on our website, LinkedIn. We have our own. They can follow us on LinkedIn, and their local rep in their marketplace.
All right, very good. Philip Langley from Wesco, thank you so much. For AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv, and follow along as we also head to Orlando for InfoComm 2025, the 11th through the 13th of June. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.